Hi, I'm Renee Romeo. Today I'm going to show you how to install a landscape bed in an area where you have grass or sod. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble some tools that we'll need. We need a sharp tip spade-like shovel, a hoe, some either weed and grass killer or an entire vegetation killer that we're going to get in concentrate form so that we can fill a spray bottle hose and spray this area to kill all the vegetation. We need some inverted marking paint, something that you can hold upside down and paint directly onto the lawn. And then if you have an in-ground irrigation system, you're going to need some flags to mark out any sprinkler heads that you have in your area so you don't hit them when you're digging out all of your edging. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is grab the inverted marking paint can, and we're going to get an outline of what we want for our bed. After you have your area marked, what you should do is take your weed and grass killer or vegetation killer, mix it up according to the directions on the back of the product. And in my case, I have a 2-gallon container. So this 2-gallon container, I'll mix up the appropriate amount, add the rest with water, and I'm ready to go. So I shake it really nice and well, and then I can adjust the tip on this sprayer according to what I need to kill. So I can have it in a really thin stream, or I can have it fanned out in a nice area to kill this nice and evenly, and that's what I've done. So I simply take it and I spray it on the grass, and when I get to the edge, I make a nice clean sweep all along the edge, making sure that I kill everything in this area. So once that's done, I let it sit 48 hours, let that product take effect, and the grasses start turning a little bit brown. From that point, what I do is I get my sharp tip spade shovel and I start in on the white marked area, and I start edging this so that the tip goes in, and I can simply take the shovel, get it in there, and pry it out. Now once I've gone over the entire perimeter, I come back on the other side about 6 to 8 inches from that edge and make the same exact motion so that I can get a nice strip of sod coming up all the way around. And then I'll take it, and I'll also take the shovel and make nice, neat little pieces of sod that I can easily grab and set aside. So now I've got small pieces that I can throw up into the sod bed itself. Sometimes it's really hard to get rid of this stuff if you don't have an area around your house. It's really heavy to put it out by the curb for your recycling people. So I just go ahead and pile it up directly into the landscape bed in an area where I know I'm not going to be planting any shrubs or flowers, in areas where there's only going to be mulch, so that they don't get in the way of my holes that I need to dig for any of my new plants. And here's just a close-up of how that process works. So there's one small chunk, another small chunk. It makes the job so much easier if you cut it into smaller pieces rather than one long continuous sod piece. I have a short bed pickup, and this is what 1 yard of topsoil peat looks like. And I always recommend going with topsoil peat in this case because you're going to be planting. And with the plain topsoil, it's very, very sandy. So unless you're planting plants that love sand type soil, get the topsoil peat. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth every penny. Now here's the area that's getting covered with the topsoil peat, and you'll see I have 1 yard down already. I have 2 yards left to go in order to fill this entire area. So it's a little difficult sometimes to figure out how much exactly you're going to need, but as you go along, you'll be able to be a better judge of that. This is what 3 yards of topsoil peat looks like, all spread out nice and even with a heavy duty rake. I've taken some plantings around the house and put them in their particular spots. And from this point, what needs to be done is some landscape fabric needs to be put down with little staples. And I'll go ahead and put that on the entire surface and then mulch beyond that. The landscape fabric is in place. Almost all the mulch is installed. And I just wanted to show you what the depth is of this mulch that goes on here. So it's anywhere between 3 and 4 inches is really what you want, because what's going to happen over time is the topsoil is going to settle and the mulch is going to settle. So you want to make sure that as that process happens, you have enough in certain spots. When it rains, it's not going to feather out on you.
Got the pots all set up and it's being watered. Looks beautiful. And that's how you make a flower bed in a day. Thanks for watching. This is Renee Romeo.